Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Hut 2, and hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So we're going to talk about in this video, the top 10 surprises, I guess. Top 10 things that could happen this off season or while we're at the GM meetings. And I would mention that, of course, you should hit the subscribe button. Also have another channel, new channel. Hopefully it'll get monetized. It's called the Baseball Hut 3. Where I talk about different sports, different people, and hopefully you like it. I'll leave the description in the link in the description of this video, so you can subscribe to that. Hit the link. Don't go searching. You'll go directly to the link that I have there. So bottom line, you put out this article the other day, and we're going to dig into it a little bit, and we'll see where this goes. So number one, he says, will teams spend like usual, stash away money for a lockout fund? No one knows for sure, but there wasn't a single GM interviewed by USA Today Sports who was told by their ownership that they will spend less because of a potential lockout. Now, they wouldn't mention the belief is that there was a lot of money lost, like $1.8 billion. I don't know about that. And New York Mets lost the most money. But we had the same thing going into the 2021 season. And it didn't stop teams from spending, one National League GM said. I don't see it having any effect. Now, a year from now, maybe a completely different story, but for now, I haven't heard that from any team. Which teams are expected to be the most aggressive in free agency? Well, it's funny you should ask. The Los Angeles Dodgers. They just freed up $87 million with Clayton Kershaw retiring, Mike Conforto leaving, Chris Taylor going, Kirby Yates off the books. They'll still be aggressive as anyone and will come away at the least with a high-priced closer. I'll keep an eye on when Diaz with them. Keep an eye on Rangers, Robert Suarez, Devin Williams. The New York Mets, they embarrassed themselves by having the biggest payroll and failed to make the playoffs, and owner Steve Cohen hates to be embarrassed. They'll come up with one, if not two, frontline stars. I expect that. One from a trade, one from free agency. Keep an eye on Tariq Skubal, Freddie Peralta, Framber Valdez, Dylan Cease, although Dylan Cease is probably going to go to Houston. Although I'm hearing other things. Baltimore Orioles. They can't afford to miss the postseason again, or GM Mike Elliott's job is on the line. They have to bring in a front line. So I believe that when I see it. Because they had a chance to be aggressive last offseason. They let Corbin Burns walk and they did nothing, and then he started complaining that he didn't know that there'd be so many injuries to his pitching staff. So such a dumb general manager. The New York Yankees, they must spend just to keep up with the rest of the powerful AL East and will either bring back Cody Bellinger or sign Kyle Tucker. Seeing that maybe the Dodgers aren't so interested in Kyle Tucker, so maybe the Yankees will sign him. Atlanta, President Terry McGuirk recently told shareholders they plan to be a top 5 payroll team, which means adding about $50 million to their player budget. I'll believe that when I say it. Because the Braves are cheap. Quietly cheap. The Toronto Blue Jays, they just earned an extra $50 million or so in revenue from the World Series run. They'll put it right back into the team and could be the favorite Kyle Tucker. Well, we'll see on that. But they will be aggressive. They do spend money. I expect them to be very aggressive. What team could be the hot stove's biggest sleeper? The Cubs know that finishing second to the Brewers in the NL Central every year is inexcusable. And if Tucker expected to depart for greater riches, they'll have plenty of money to burn. They want another corner outfielder and will be shopping an expensive aisle for starting pitcher, with fellow GMs predicting they could land Framber Valdez or Dylan Cease. We'll see about that. They sort of let me know they don't want to spend a lot of money. Where will Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, and Alex Bregman land? Tucker, a native Tampa, will sign with the Yankees, Blue Jays, or Dodgers. The GMs predict. The Giants are a dark horse, but considering they still owe Rafael Devers $250 million, are in its second year of a 7-year, $182 million contract with William Adames, and the second of a 6-year, $151 million extension with Matt Chapman's terrible contracts. Does Buster Posey know what the hell he's doing? I don't think so. Don't be surprised if the Blue Jays are the perfect fit. Bichette, who was expected to depart Toronto a year ago, and whose name surfaced a year ago in the trade talks, now is expected to stay put to complete their goodwill tour. We'll see. Bregman won't get $40 million a year from the Red Sox after walking away from $80 million over 2 years. But the Red Sox still make the most sense, particularly with the Tigers proving they can win without him, and the Cubs find a third baseman with rookie Matt Shaw. Does Pete Alonso finally find a permanent home with the Mets? Nope. Dave Stearns, Mets president of baseball operations, was ready to let Alonso walk. Now, he did mention, and this is David Stearns on Tuesday, that the Mets still like him. And even though they mentioned the Red Sox here, I've heard the Cubs. And AI has told me the Cubs, that he'll sign with the Cubs. Will Tariq Skubal or Paul Skeens get traded? No and no. F you and F you to the teams that are looking to trade for them. The Pirates won't even listen to trade offers for Skeens, so don't bother calling. Well, we kind of knew that. It's a year away from arbitration. The Tigers will at least listen on Skubal, but would have to be completely overwhelmed. Considering that teams know that he won't sign an extension and plans to have free agency in a year commanding the biggest deal or a pitcher in history, no one will dare give up more than 2 top 10 prospects. The Tigers expect to hang on to him until at least the July 2026 trade deadline. They're going to be in it because he's a great pitcher. Will the Phillies keep DH Kyle Schwarber? I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm just answering that right there. Is Mutaka Murayaki the real deal? The jury is out, and no one has a strong sense of just what he'll bring in the major leagues. The power is real. 5 seasons of at least 30 homers and 246 homers in 892 games. And so is the strikeout rate, which was at an alarming 29% last year against in Japan. Number 9. Who's on the MLB trading block? Minnesota Twins starters Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez. These guys are going to get moved because they traded everybody at the trade deadline. Everybody got moved other than Byron Buxton and these guys. Cincinnati Reds ace Hunter Green. Despite their recent public denials, they still plan to list the offers for him. And unless they're completely overwhelmed and receive a return that will help them not only now but in the future, they'll keep him. He's not going to get moved. Arizona Diamondbacks All-Star second baseman Ketel Marte. Now, the general manager, Mike Hazen, said on Tuesday that he's not getting traded. If you're a team targeted the Diamondbacks, don't trade for him. There's something wrong with that guy. No offense, but something really wrong there. Let the buyer beware. Miami Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara. The Marlins never got the offer they wanted to. I didn't make him an offer they couldn't refuse. To move their former Cy Young winner, but this winter are set to accept the best offer they received. Believe now is the time. He earned $17.3 million in 2026 and a $21 million club option in 2027. I can see him getting traded between now and the trading deadline. But he will get moved. San Diego Padres all-star right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. They certainly don't want to trade him. Still may not listen now, but with all that bloated and backloaded contracts, someone's going to eventually have to depart. And no one making big money has more trade value than he does. 14-year, $340 million contract suddenly looks rather reasonable. St. Louis Cardinals starter Sonny Gray. He's going to get moved, I think. Houston Nationals first baseman Christian Walker. That's going to be tough to move because he didn't have a good year with Houston. Cardinals third baseman Nolan Arenado. The word is that he will waive his no trade clause. But we'll see. We'll see what the deal is because he didn't want to do that last year, and he should have. Instead of being in a bad situation there with the Cardinals. Milwaukee Brewers starter Freddie Peralta. We're going to hear a lot of rumors of him because of the New York Mets and a lot of other teams. He's not making a lot of money. $8 million. Washington Nationals starter Mackenzie Gore. Nationals have a whole new front office, new coaching staff, and new ideas. They expected to use Gore, who has 2 more years of club control, as a trade bait to kickstart their new era. Cleveland Guardians out for the Stephen Kwan. Doesn't have any power. Can hit. Is good defensively. You can have him. Thank you very much. Boston Red Sox out for the Jarren Duran. Red Sox believe that they need an upgrade over Duran and that he needs a fresh start. He'll be moved. Miami Marlins starter Edward Cabrera. He's more likely to get traded than Alcantara is, I think. Pittsburgh Pirates starter Mitch Keller. Perpetually on the block. Always in the rumors. The Pirates do nothing good. He'll stay. A's starter Luis Severino, he's going to get moved, no doubt, because he complained about playing in Sacramento. Yankees prospect Spencer Jones. After floating his name in trade talks for the past year, the Yankees could finally move one of their top prospects. If they're moving him, he's not that good. Yankees only keep prospects that are good, and they fool everybody thinking that they're good. Will trades go down to GM meetings? Well, like there won't be a single trade consummate, but the best trade was in okay. A lot of times, in the World Series, all these teams meet because all representatives of the teams they go to meet in the World Series, and they talk there, and then it continues on into the GM meetings. Will there be any kind of trades? I don't know. There was a couple of little trades last few days, but nothing earth-shattering. I don't expect anything earth-shattering. Maybe between now and the winter meetings, but we'll see what kind of offseason this is. I don't know what to expect. Last few years, the offseason has been dragging. Well, let me know what you think about this video. And of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. Check out the Baseball Hut 3, new channel. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.